Looks like we got a new friend!
Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to today's show. Yeah, you know, there's a lot that could go on today. There's a lot that could go on. I'm not saying anything, you know, there's no hidden meanings or anything here, you know. You guys, here are our social links. If you want to be part of this amazing community, get in the Discord. We're speaking all the time. It's an active Discord. It's inclusive. It's friendly. It's loving. It's amazing. It's D&D focused, but not D&D exclusive. So please do join in. Hey Ezra, hey Drake, hey you guys in chat. Sorry I didn't catch all your names. Conti, Lord Conti in chat. Hey. Twitter, if you guys want to get into a game, send me a DM on Twitter and I'll get you into a game. Simple as that. I have got a backlog. I can see 4 requests that I haven't answered yet. I am working on them games. I'll get you guys games. Next up, YouTube. I am catching up. And I'm also working on a new way of uploading the videos in the background. It involves linking Twitch and not ever actually downloading it to my PC, so hopefully I will get better and better and better at that. Promise. Patreon. You can support me on Patreon for as little as $1, and it'll get you access to all of our extra content, the stuff that doesn't get shown on air. And also, hey Nogabert, I'm not friendly. Good evening. He is friendly. He lies. Merch. I have merchandise there, and also I have this tweet, Nya. Every 10 retweets gets a new Wild Magic search, which our players have come to expect now, I think. think we've all come to expect the wild magic surges. We're already on 6, so we're doing well. We're doing very well. Well done, you guys. Okay. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. So let's go and get our players for today. Let's go and grab our players. Oh, hi, you guys. You are live.
What?
Howdy.
Hello.
What? We're live? Nobody told me we were going to go live.
So, I'll start in the top left as we go round and introduce our players. Dina Kennedy is dead. Deceased.
Wow.
Shot in the head.
She is
Brutal.
shuffled off the
Brutal.
mortal coil.
Yep. Dead. Sorry. Next in line is a witness to the murder of Dina. Kiana! Oh, hi!
Hi, Scratch. Fucking. God damn it, guys.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have a literal itch on the tip of my nose.
Y'all terrible.
I know.
Yes, hi. I'm Kiana. I'm not sure how to feel about this game. There were some very ominous messages happening. I'm a little afraid, but we'll find out. And I will be playing Shiolan, or X, or Lee. She is your friendly neighborhood thief for a gang, and she just witnessed a murder and a lot of other violence, and she's not doing so hot. She's run away to safety for now, and then maybe to solve this mystery eventually.
Tee. Thank you very much to Isriver, who gives Kiana a nat 1 straight off the bat. So to refresh, Kiana, you have 2 nat 20s, 2 nat 1s, and an advantage to use this week.
Wow, why are they piling up on Kiana?
I don't know. But
Kiana, what did you do?
I'm happy about it.
Isriver just likes this.
Next around the table is Alice. Oh, hi, Alice.
Hi. I've been really looking forward to this all week. I just do. I am playing Imogen Carter, and to be honest, at the moment so far, she's made a lot of hot chocolates. She's drank a lot of coffee, and she's trying to make Clint not freak out, and that is what she does. And she, like when there is some danger or something, and she seems to be quite happy about it almost, because it breaks her very boring life of not doing much. But she sort of adores this group and is really trying not to let anything too troubling happen to them. But she doesn't know what's happened to Dinah yet, so it could be interesting about what's to happen. But yeah.
Fantastic. And next around the table, we have our very own Zippy Zippo at gaming.exp. Oh, hi.
Oh, hello there. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm just extra jolly and happy for no reason.
Oh, it's not like you just murdered one of my favorite characters and you made me deal with the person who murdered him. I mean, come on. That's not good. Hi, I'm Zippy. I'm playing John Doe, who currently is walking back to his church with a dead Dinah Kennedy in his arms. Take from that what you will.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, that happened, I guess. Next around the table is Jay. Hey, Tool School.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Oh, great. Everything's on schedule, and everything is starting to settle out, even though it's sort of the week-long layoff, sort of furlough that our good buddy Clinton is on. And I am sure that it's not going to throw a wrench into his little world at all. Not even a little bit. This whole idea of having his friend, very punctual friend, Dinah, gone. Yeah. we'll see how that goes for old Clinton, and knowing that you're gonna be pushing his buttons too, because he doesn't have easy buttons to push or anything.
I've hardly pushed his buttons at all so far. I don't think that's fair to say, isn't it? Something.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you for that follow. We witnessed quite a lot of John last week doing, like, killing gang bosses and carrying bodies around and actually being quite, what's the guy's name? I'm terrible with names. You know, the one with the gun.
The helpful, thank you.
Punisher?
Keanu Reeves plays him.
Oh,
John
John
Wick?
Wick.
There it is. There, yeah. Doing all that business. Yeah.
You know, the one guy who deals with the mob. He has a gun.
And you think
This is a
Keanu Reeves was like,
superhero
could've been
live
great.
stream show, so
My neighbor, the guy next door.
Hey, that's not a normal thing
Denzel
for English
Washington, the
people.
I was
Equalizer.
gonna
I
say,
mean,
you're coming to America here, guys.
you're asking Americans. You know, that one guy with the gun. Wait, Jay's in where? You're from what? Florida?
Florida.
I'm in Texas, so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like,
So today I would like to start with Julianne Lee.
I'm sorry.
Okay, would you like me to recap?
You can recap what you're up to and where you're going, and I'll intervene where necessary.
Yeah, so after trailing John and Dinah over to the casino, there's a lot of, trying to find information when they got apprehended by, at least Dinah got apprehended by Vincenzo. Upon which they had a very tense, Vincenzo and Dinah had a very tense conversation and started going upstairs. Sheila and John started to follow when they see Vincenzo shoot Dinah 3 times, killing her. Before anything else happens, John immediately basically goes vengeful angel on Vincenzo, almost lopping off his arm, basically cutting through his vocal cords. And after it settled down a bit, John picked up Dinah's body and started to head down. And Shilan, who had just been watching first the murder of Dinah and then the extreme violence afterwards, just noped out of there. And she ran to the one place she knows is safe, jumping across buildings with supernatural speed and height. Gets right to the office building where the Seven Heaven gang resides, and not even taking the front door, just goes right through the window of her boss.
Your boss is not there.
Shit.
The entire hideout is strangely quiet.
AJ? I go into the main hallways, start going to the different rooms. AJ? Guys, this isn't funny. Peek my head into the room that I know is kind of like the break room, the lunch room.
There's no one in here, but your foot slides on the ground.
I look down.
There is a puddle of blood.
Sheila immediately removes her foot from it, stepping back. Where's it coming from?
Down the hall. Towards the safe deposits. The place you keep all your, you know, valuable items and stuff that can't be fenced yet.
She immediately pulls herself as close to the wall as possible, where she knows that the floor doesn't creak as much, and heads over to the door. Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked.
Still keeping to the side of the hall. Just kind of lean over and open the door.
How long's it been since you were last at the headquarters?
Would have been about a day.
So the smell of blood is still very fresh from this room, and as you look through the door, you see several bodies piled on top of each other.
Do I recognize them?
Gang members.
Is Boss there?
No.
Is AJ there?
Lee!
AJ?
Over here!
I immediately go over.
There's a wide grin on AJ's face, but his eyes are clearly in pain.
AJ, what the fuck? Just what?
No. Competition?
What are you talking about?
No competition. His hand goes down to his side where you know he carries a gun.
AJ, dude, what? You just talk about what's happening. You're literally in a fucking room. Where the fuck is everybody?
Turn. He slowly begins drawing a gun with shaking hand.
I'm close the distance and grabbing his wrist and moving it away.
He lets you. He's just looking at you, this big grin, framing tortured eyes.
Come on, man. What's happened? What's happening?
Tears begin running, dripping around his grinning face.
Oh, come on, we should. Come on, let's. We'll go out. Hey, we'll go out. I'll be fine. Come on.
His hand drops the gun as he faints into your arms, still grinning broadly.
And holding on to him. Okay, come on. I'm gonna start I'm just gonna kind of sling his arm around my shoulder and just kind of start hauling him out this room, just trying not to look at the bodies.
Okay. You can drag him from the room.
Is there any signs of footprints leading away from this place? There was a pool of blood.
None. This is the room were almost self-contained violence. The blood's literally just run down the slope of the corridor towards the next rooms. You can go back and inspect the bodies if you'd like to find out what's happened here, or maybe inspect AJ.
Yeah, I'm looking at AJ. I find a clean spot away from the blood and I pop him down.
Would you like to make an investigate roll for me?
Yup. God. Nothing really works for this.
Is that I'm not sure of your power tags because I can't see yours so well, but why don't you anything at all, because power equals clues on an investigate roll. So to get some clues you need to use something, really.
Okay.
Anything relevant, anything, as long as you can make it relevant in some way, you can use it.
What are some of your logos tags?
Wow.
The tags.
Yeah, from your logo spokes.
Burglary, lockpicking tool, slip away unnoticed, give me purpose, eyes on the streets, never stand out.
Okay, so okay, give me some of your mythos.
Use their own words against them, underestimate me and never see it coming, emotion clouding thinking, possibly jump away in time, attack from any angle. I guess attack from any angle I can make relevant.
Attack from any angle.
You can
what is
probably
it?
use some of your sneaking things as well, I think.
Yeah. Attack them before they see me or something. What was that one? Something before they see me.
Underestimate me. And
Underestimate me. Okay, that one would work. Because, you know, you've proven whoever is controlling your friend, you know, they obviously underestimated that you would be there. They thought they were cleaning shop and taking care of loose ends, but they forgot you. So they underestimated you. So yeah.
Okay, so attack from any angle, underestimate me and never see it coming.
Yep.
I'm gonna say they give me purpose for under my gang theme.
It's your friends. Yeah.
Because my friends.
Yeah.
They give you purpose. You wouldn't be investigating them if they weren't your gang.
Mm-hmm. So that's +3.
+3. 9 on a 9. On a 9 on an investigate roll, you get a straight answer or a solid lead, but I would get to choose a complication. Either your investigation exposes you to danger, the clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false, or whoever or whatever you're asking the questions can ask one question as well. That one probably not relevant this time, but I will choose one of the others and we'll go on from there. So you have 3 clues, 3 questions.
What happened to AJ?
There is a small green pinprick in his neck.
Do I know somebody who was supposed to come today?
No.
What reason would they have to choose AJ for this thing?
Lee, He comes back round. Lee, they, all of us, perhaps you too, they perfected a formula.
A formula? Who?
New gang. And he faints again.
Okay. Boss isn't here. Boss might still be okay. Okay. I'm gonna quickly go over to Boss's office and see if there's anything.
Yep. Okay. As you go back into your boss's office, you can look around, and what are you looking for?
Any clue as to where she could have gone?
A section of wall looks slightly out of place.
Okay. Check it out. Huh. Guess Boss did some remodeling recently. Looking for any latch or hinge.
Yeah, it's been left slightly ajar. This is a hidden doorway.
Yeah. I'm gonna open it.
Inside, in like a panic room, is your boss. They are
Hey.
not grinning. They are sitting on the floor with a knife wound to the gut. They are conscious. Lee!
Boss, holy shit. Immediately goes. I just fucking shit. What happened?
Everyone went crazy. Laughing like madmen.
Adrian said something about competition, a new gang.
Yeah.
Who? Do you
They-
have any idea?
Took over at gunpoint. I hid in the panic room until they were gone. Our guys did this to me.
Adrian was injected with something. I don't know what it is, but it probably did this.
I don't know what sort of thing could do that.
I don't know either, boss. You're usually the one with the answers. Who were they?
Can you get me to a hospital?
Yeah. Wait. You want to go to a hospital? No.
I'm bleeding out, Lee.
I know, we're not to our usual clinic.
I think I need an emergency room. The wound is bad.
Yeah. Right, boss, whatever you say. I'll go over to her desk and get the phone. And call 911.
Excellent. The ambulance will arrive at your base. Police arrive shortly after. And they're gonna. you can
As soon
probably...
as I hear this, if I look out and I peek open the blinds and I see the police,
Mhm.
gosh, the cops are here.
Drag me out into the main office, close the door and get out.
Boss, you're gonna get. You know, the door is not gonna stop them from finding the other stuff. Everything.
Shit!
Okay. Start dragging her out. Probably right next to AJ.
Do you remove the knife?
No.
The ambulance crew are arriving. They're calling out. Go, Lee. In here.
I'm gonna run to the office. I'm gonna just open up her desk and just pull out a bunch of files, shove it into my backpack. And as soon as I kind of start hearing the footsteps approaching the door, I hop out a window. And that's a crack on the gang.
Oh dear. Let's pan across to Imogen and Clinton, who have been sitting in the diner, sipping tea, having a good old time, right?
Oh yeah. You know my first question. What time is it?
What time was it? I think, am I right in thinking it's late at night, early hours of the morning?
I thought it was late afternoon because we were having tea and it wasn't time. 8:02 is when he goes and feeds the ducks at the park. And I can't remember whether we passed that last time or not. Because I think they probably would have wanted to go do that. But it also might be just that much time has passed and so he didn't go do it, or did it and maybe come back.
Well, let's...
Because at 8:42 he picks up coffee back at the diner. So...
Imogen. When it gets close to 8 o'clock and Clinton starts talking about feeding the ducks, he's your only customer today. It's Boxing Day. No one's out in town.
She'll wait. She's seen what happens almost like when he's had like a little bit of a blackout, as it were. So she's trying to keep the order, but at the same time she kind of wants to see what happens today. So she'll get a coffee to go out ready.
I'll have coffee when I come back. I need a piece of bread. Do you have a slice of bread? Just one. Only one would be fine. I just need one.
Just one? Okay.
One's
And
great.
she reaches
toast.
down and just hands it over and places it on a napkin on the side.
And he sort of looks to her, and because you had offered a coffee to go, and coffee to go solve things, and he sort of looks and goes, "Oh, of course you have to stay open, but if you didn't, would you want to come feed the ducks?"
Yeah, I think I would. I've never had the chance to do that sort of thing since I was a kid.
Just
So-
2 blocks down, just the park, close by. We'll be back
Okay.
by 42.
Well, it's Boxing Day, so I am sure I can afford to close up just for a little while. And she sorts a coffee to go, one each, and she also takes one slice of bread and puts it on a napkin and takes that herself.
He sort of gives her a little awkward cheers. Coffee to go. We'll solve things.
Always. And she sort of heads to get her coat and huge scarf on as she starts to wrap it round her neck.
As you wrap the scarf around your head, only you see this, Imogen.
Mhm.
4 small pixies land on your shoulders. 2
Only
dressed-
I see this.
Yes, 2 dressed in angelic gowns, the other dressed in devil's outfits, red suits looking very dashing.
Well, I'm currently thinking there's something in the coffee, so like, she just sort of she sort of looks at it
They-
and then
All have the same face. It is the face of the man that you see when you go to sleep at night.
she closes her eyes and just tries to shake it off, and literally just like pulls her coat up, like the collar up more, and starts to walk to the door. She's like, ready?
Could you also roll me a D414, please, Imogen?
Oh.
$114.
114, fantastic. I'll hold on to that for a second.
Oh Lord. You've been holding on to like 3 for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, you guys carry on.
With a little cheers, head out. How's the weather today?
Nice, I think. It seems quite nice. And she just sort of looks outside.
Oh
She
no, I was
ducks
asking
outside.
Brat, not in character.
Oh,
but-
okay, like, because I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
too used to being asked it now.
Yeah, no, yeah, because he does ask every day. Is it nice? Is it actually nice weather? I mean, other than cold and clear type idea, or
Yeah, it's a it's an average winter day. It's a bit chilly, but you expect that. The skies are clear.
so? Sort of holding his coffee up, just goes, "Be a nice day for the ducks."
I think so. And she sort of looks up and holds the door open.
There's one with a bent toe. He's always on schedule. He's first.
Oh. Should we take some extra bread for him, or is it just one slice?
One slice. Well, we have
Just
extra
one.
because 2 of us. So it's Boxing
true.
Day. It's Christmas for them.
Yeah.
Extra.
A present for them.
Be nice.
Hmm.
And they walk up the 2 blocks to the park bench that he normally sits on, and sure enough, there's a duck sitting there with a bent toe, sort of weird humped up toe, that's standing there just as proper as can be, knowing that where to be and when to be. Always on time.
So do you feed him first?
Yes, because he cunts first, and the others don't like him. Well, they wait till he's eaten before they come. And you can see there's other ducks that probably over the years have learned that this is not. This is like the king duck. And so he
King
gets, he knows he doesn't get all of it. He won't take it. There'll be enough for everybody.
Okay then. Well, do you want to feed him, or shall I?
We can both.
Okay. Like, and she just tears a little bit off, and then sort of waits for him to
Yep.
basically copy him.
Yep, and then tosses it out, and
She quickly does exactly what he does.
after about a quarter of it, it's interesting. The duck wanders off as though he knows he's not going to get any more, and then sort of the other sort of flock comes up, and he points down to one that's obviously a female. It's like, she had 16 ducklings.
16.
A hawk got 4, and then
Oh.
maybe something else got another 2. But I think the rest survived.
Well, at least some of them survived,
Well, that's how it goes.
I suppose.
She gets around. She usually has quite a few ducklings every year. He sort of smiles,
Oh.
as though he's big blue.
Yeah, like, oh. And Imogen just starts tearing off.
Yeah,
The
and
bread.
then, this seems to be fairly just normal duck
Yeah.
feeding. It's interesting. After about 30 minutes, he looks over to the sidewalk, and while he doesn't know his name, Vincenzo wears white, correct? Vincenzo's the man in white, just making sure everything. And he looks to see if Vincenzo goes by, because he sort of points out the man in white's not coming by. He usually comes by, even on holidays. He always passes by the park.
And Imogen sort of looks at him and says, every day.
Every day. Just like clockwork. Just like the duck with the bagged toe. Man in white walks by. 8:32. Every day.
Didn't the others go to the casino?
Did they?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm quite absent-minded today, and she's sort of remembering the little images she saw on her shoulders. It's fine.
Oh, they're still there.
You're more observant than I am, and she's really trying not to look at them.
I'm trying to recall, was Vincenzo in the vision by the limousine?
There was a man in white.
But it wasn't Vincenzo. Or I wasn't able to differentiate, because that's the thing, is we walked there whereas everyone sort of else teleported, so we only saw it from a distance. That's right. Do you think it's the same man in white? We were here in the park, remember?
Yeah, I
Weird night.
remember.
1 minute to midnight.
Well, I mean, technically more than one person can own a white suit. But then it is quite a fashion statement.
That is true. Huh.
And like, Imogen is just looking at her shoulders to see if the things are still there, and almost like trying to look up at the ducks or anywhere other than her shoulders, basically.
One of the ones in red leans towards your ear and goes, that Vincenzo is just dying to meet us.
And she sort of has like a little bit of a twitch and takes a sip of her coffee.
5 days, 3 hours, and 29 minutes.
Oh, until this happens.
5 days, 3 hours, and 29 minutes. Till we can get coffee to go to make sure it doesn't happen.
We'll make sure it doesn't happen. And she looks a bit more twitchy than usual. Normally she's quite calm and collected.
Five minutes pass and it's 8:37. I normally walk to work now, so I have time to stop by and get my coffee, but I already have it. So
Nice. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like different, nice.
Different. Something new.
And it's good. As she sits like very silently, she's not too sure what to do because she doesn't want to step out of his routine, even though they're not in it.
Yeah, and so he's sort of like, at 8:42 is when I pick up my coffee. But I have my coffee, and then at 8:46, because it takes 4 minutes to get my coffee, I get to my job, but I don't have job today, so.
Did you want a top up of coffee, or do you want to stay here a bit longer?
Well, I guess we have a new job now. We have to make our coffee to go so that this doesn't happen. So that means that we have 17 minutes until we need to get to work and start figuring this out. So
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Should we go to the casino?
Yeah. Well, why not? Let's go see if we can find the others.
And so, knowing how long it takes, so that they will arrive right at 9 o'clock when he would normally start his work shift, they arrive at the casino.
Well,
Or not.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh God.
as you leave the park, someone emerges and begins following you.
Will I
Nice.
notice this? Because I'm quite observant. Well, I think we both are.
I was going to say, if it's not someone who normally walks behind, well, he's off schedule, though. He might not notice. This is new. He's off schedule, so maybe he wouldn't notice, because that would be the reason he would notice. Actually, he's probably looking around a lot, trying to grab onto things, though. I don't know. Your call.
Oh, you're okay. If you're looking around a lot, you'll see a shadowy figure walking behind you.
And is this Imogen as well? Because she's very much always aware of her surroundings.
Oh yeah, okay, you'll both see him. Just begins tailing you.
And she sort of doesn't look. She doesn't look at Clint. She doesn't, she just keeps walking forward and she keeps a smile on her face. I'm guessing you've noticed it too?
He must be going to work as well.
Maybe.
Acting sketchy.
Just tailing you, wearing all black and a black hat.
Why don't we? And then she sort of second guesses herself, thinking about what she's about to say. Is there another route?
We have 3 extra minutes. I was going to have us do a lap. We can take the long way around the lake.
Well, why don't we do that and just see if he keeps going to work?
2 more people step out of the trees ahead of you.
They're like blocking our path.
I was going to say, they're like obviously walking towards it. And how close are they to us?
About 10 feet. Just step out ahead of you.
Do you know them?
No, I don't. And she sort of steps a little bit closer to Clint and calls out, "Can I help you with something?"
Behind you, you hear a safety catch.
Oh.
We don't want any trouble. Just
Are you sure?
give us your valuables and be on your way.
I'd like to turn and face the one that has the gun. I don't have valuables.
Empty your purse.
And she takes out her purse slowly and just opens it and lets it drop to the... She sort of holds it out to show there's basically nothing in it.
All right. What about you? Gives your wallet and your phones.
Quick question. I know I don't have my quick sheet. What's face danger do?
Face danger is usually something that's done, like, say, if you were to say someone is going to do something dangerous and you were to try and face it, sort of thing. I know that sounds like a very literal thing, but like, so fighting would be a toe-to-toe sort of thing.
Okay.
Hitting them with all you got would be when you have an advantage and you can really take steps to do it. Usually you have to do a setup action to get into a hit 'em with all you've got. And face danger is my friend is in trouble, someone's about to shoot them and I'm going to dive in the way.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
I'm gonna do a go toe to toe,
Mhm.
if I may,
Sure.
because it's not Clinton who is doing it. It is the Gremlin who is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And always has a tool.
Uh-huh.
I think flaw identification,
Yes.
manipulation of mechanical fasteners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and assumed harmless, as because they would assume that I was harmless.
Mm-hmm.
Imogen seems pretty calm right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know things about Imogen that Imogen doesn't know.
Mhm.
Because, and I'm going to use those to go toe to toe.
Do you think any
Because-
of these weaknesses might come into effect?
So here's a question for you. This isn't really an infiltration, so I'm not thinking that this is hard to act when directly observed,
Uh-huh.
but I am using mechanical manipulation, so that probably does count. If I want to use mechanical manipulations, those probably cancel each other out.
Okay.
Once it's for their work, yeah, that probably. It's funny. I'm going to cancel out everyone because once attention for his work is probably going to be a weakness, and definitely nervous when confronted is going to be weakness.
And are you surprised?
I don't think so because I think we were observant.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I don't think he was surprised. Well, Clinton is surprised that he's about to do what he's about to do, but I also think Clinton's not here right now. This is going to be one of his things because what's about to happen is with always has a tool.
Mhm.
Clinton pulls out a bigger gun and points it at this guy as his gun, basically as though he's cleaned it and put it together wrong, basically falls apart
Okay.
with manipulate mechanical fasteners.
Well, let's see what happens with the roll.
Come on, baby. A 10. Great
10.
success.
On a 10, a great success. You managed to choose 2 of the following. You managed to achieve your goal, e.g. take something they hold, so in this case, disrupt what they've got. You get them good, giving your opponent a status, or you can block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you.
So my thought, this is what my goal is basically to intimidate them that this is the Crocodile Dundee, you call that a knife. He's going to pull out a bigger gun and just be like, I don't think you want to do that, friend. And it does not sound like Clinton at all. It actually probably sounds like someone from a movie, very much as in The Mischief Maker. Kind of does the, you sure you want to do that, buddy? And pulls out this. I mean, if he pulled out like a 22, he pulls out like a 44. I mean, it's like whatever it is, his, in his gun, literally, yeah, you feel lucky, punk.
So the gremlin literally is Dirty Harry.
Right now he is, because first thing, someone threatened Imogen.
Let's do it.
Also threatened Clinton, and he wants to have some fun. This is his thing. So on the manage to achieve your goal. So I, intimidate him, and it would one be intimidate, the other one is that his gun falls apart.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so here's a question: with all of those things, clicked, does that mean I get attention to all 3 of those?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Okay.
But since you've given them a status, which is intimidated, yeah? Your tier equals the power, so they've got a tier 2 intimidation. Also, you have achieved their goal, so you have this bigger gun, and his gun sort of falls apart. However, you didn't take block, dodge, or counter, so they're also going to impose a status on you.
Okay.
Clinton is trying to break out. The nerves of Clinton are trying to break out. So I'm going to give you a tier 1 status of unsure of yourself.
Okay, unsure.
Which will act as an extra weakness.
Okay.
Just 1. The guys... Guys, one of them rushes forward and grabs Imogen, putting a gun to her head.
can I do something about this?
What would you like to do?
Hang on, let me just see what I can actually roll for this. Okay. Okay, so what I want Imogen to do is intimidate. She's not scared at the moment at all. And then I want her to get out of the grip. And as it does, she's going to lock his arm and break it.
Okay. So let's go toe to toe.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a -1 straight off the bat of grappled because he's run forward to grab you. So you've got
Okay.
-1.
Okay. So -1. Okay. I'd say I've got adrenaline through fear. I'm always prepared.
Uh-huh.
Would learn anything apply here? Like if I watch his movements?
He sort of grabbed you from behind, so maybe not.
Okay. Okay. I've got kept on edge. I'm never caught off guard. And I'm stronger than before.
Okay.
And I've also got... That probably doesn't count. With the intimidation, I've got everyone is corruptible. And the laws of man don't apply to me.
I mean, you're not trying to intimidate him, but I'll give you the laws of man don't apply to me if you like.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Weakness wise.
yes.
Don't back me into a corner as a weakness.
Uh-huh.
It
Are you scared? This
No,
is going to
she's
remind you of that night.
is. So what would...
I'm looking at petrified.
Flashback?
I'm wondering, well, both nightmares and flashbacks, and I was looking at petrified.
Oh, where's petrified? Oh, I see. Okay. God, this isn't good.
Question.
Yes.
And I'm trying to recall our backstories. Clinton took you to the hospital, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm there, does that help with that petrified?
Up
Is
to
there a
you,
difference?
Alice. Up to you. I'm
So I'd
just
sort of say
asking
she's
questions.
she's more confident because he's there, because last time she was on her own.
Okay. You can remove it if you like.
I think I will. Okay, and then it's roll go toe to toe.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Imogen.
15.
Oh, look at you.
Ooh, double
This
sixes?
is
Mhm.
baby.
Damn.
Don't mess. with
Don't
your
mess
love.
with Imogen. Break
Yeah.
my favorite scarf. She sort of can't help that when this person grabs her, but smile, and she's just like, no, 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 and she reaches up, and it's almost like she folds her fingers in between the man's fingers and starts pulling his wrist back, making him drop the gun, and sort of spinning out of it, and catches it with her arm. So it's not strength she's using, it's pressure sort of thing. And she just sort of gets him to turn his body slightly, and she's just sort of shaking her head and tutting, and then it's just a quick snap.
So the devil on your shoulder says, let me lend you a hand. And one of the angels says, oh, leave him be. He's harmless.
Oh, Lord.
So, toe to toe, you get your goal, is your first one, I guess. And I suppose you counter their best attempts, yeah? So they can't impose a status on you. Am I putting words in your mouth, or is that what you'd like? Would you rather put a status
No, I
on him?
don't. How so? Sorry, explain that to me again.
So you've got 3 options with toe to toe. On a great success, you get to choose 2 of them. The first is that you manage to achieve your goal. The second is that you can give them a status. You get them good. You can give them a status like broken arm. And the third is you can block, dodge, or counter their best attempts If you don't choose that one, they can impose a status on you.
I want to break this guy's arm and block any attempts that he can't do anything. I'm literally holding him in place.
Okay. So you're going to impose the status broken arm on him, and you're going to counter their best attempt so they can't do anything to you. Perfect. The third person takes his gun and fires at Imogen. Imogen, can you face danger, please?
Ooh, no.
Okay. Hang on. Do I get to tick anything on this? Is this still a...
Just like a normal thing.
Okay. So
How does,
adrenaline through
how does the
fear.
lending power tags work?
You can lend up to one relevant power tag.
Laws of man I need to untick.
You make sure you reset.
This sounds silly, but could I use... I don't know how it would work. Because she analyzes everything, situation, everything with psychological interest help. Or not.
Not with someone pulling a trigger on you, I don't think.
Okay. Then I think I've got what I need. Just on edge, never caught off guard, and stronger. But I've still got nightmare flashbacks and corner.
Can I lend her keen sense of timing? Keen sense of time, in this case timing, so to help her dodge.
Yeah, give yourself an extra +1.
An extra +1. Okay.
Does that mean I can't use like it next time or something, or is that how does that work?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You can just
Okay, face
help.
danger. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that I can shout out at exactly the right time.
8.
On an 8. So, when you use your abilities to avoid an incoming hit, endure harm, resist a malign influence, or hold it together, I will name a status with its tag and tier. Your roll plus power. On a 10+, you fend off the effect and take no status at all. On a 7 to 9, you take the status with a -1 tier. I'm going to give you the status of shot. It's going to be tier 5 with a -1, a tier 4. As this bullet rips into your arm.
And she probably, first of all, she screams as it... I'm assuming, does it go through?
Yeah, it's straight in one side out the other.
Yeah,
this is
it's
this isn't like a hollow point or anything. It's a regular bullet, just goes straight through.
As she sort of falls down, but like to her knees, but she'll take the other guy with her. She won't let go of his arm. If anything, she'll just twist it more and drag him down with her.
What's Clinton doing? As the guy levels his gun at him as well. There's now 2 on 1.
I think I'm going to stop holding back.
What would you like to do if you stop holding back?
And the theme that we have going on. And let me just look to make sure. Now, do I get to choose how big it is, or do you choose me how big it is?
You tell me what you want to do and we'll agree together. So when you use your powers in a new and never before seen way or scale, tell the MC what you hope to achieve. The MC will tell you the sacrifice it will take from you. You then roll plus Logos.
So, since it says it's a cinematic move, I'll describe it cinematically. You tell me what I need to do.
Okay.
The gremlin is in full control and sees Imogen get shot. And the gremlin, of course, is probably just as attached but more emotional about Imogen than the other. And starts just go. You hear Clinton going tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, as the gremlin taps into his cog in the machine. Good at repetitive tasks, keen sense of timing, can identify routines. Imogen is calm. I'll just say that it being Imogen, being involved.
So,
And
the thing with stop holding back is you don't use your power tags.
oh, right, I know, but that's what I'm giving it the flavor of what I want to do, of why this works.
Okay, yeah, by all means.
Time starts rewinding itself. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And it starts unwinding because Clinton knows exactly where everyone was, where everyone needed to be. And it unwinds just enough so that Imogen does not get shot. Tick tock, tick tock.
So you are trying. Oh, that I would say that is pretty big. Trying to rewind
know.
time. I'm leaning towards ultimate, but you could barter with me to make it a no return.
What's pushing him to make it a no return, though? I feel like it's a very significant thing. I don't think it's like an ultimate. It's not like
it's unwinding time. No, I think it's definitely no return. Or I mean, in my head, it is. It definitely. I mean, I know. To me, I think it definitely cracks that card. Whatever that means. Whether it cracks and becomes, a gremlin thing. I also. You cannot face danger. Wait, if I can't face danger ever?
I think between the two of you, I think no return's just fine, to be fair. This is something brand new. It's definitely significant, and the thing pushing him at the minute is, as far as I guess Clint is concerned, Imogen could be dying right now. And also the laws of physics.
No, I think it's no return. The question is whether or not it's ultimate, and does Clinton go? And I would think the transformation is that Clinton goes away. That personality basically becomes now the hidden personality behind the gremlin, and that it comes out. Perhaps.
Well,
so I don't know. I could go either way with it. I'm gonna go with you, Scrat. Of you know what your story needs to have. I would be fine with it going either way as a character.
And you do have a chance of like only the minimum happening because you do have to roll.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like a 10 plus. Yeah, 10 plus is the minimum piece, I guess, right? I have to roll a 10 or better.
Yeah, there are improvements that you can take that say you treat like 7 to 9 as the minimum, so you don't really fail unless you get less than a 7. But I think it's a 10 plus if you don't have that improvement.
So I'm ready to roll for it, man. See what happens. That's what it's all about. See, the big sacrifices. It's the
go for it.
Stop holding back.
I think we'll go for a no return, please.
Okay. And there's no modifiers to this, right?
It's literally just your roll plus the amount of logos you have.
What does that mean?
So you've got
How
2
many logos themes.
I've got 2. So it's this plus 2. So I put up 2 plus for the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's an 11.
Ooh, on an 11. I would like you to. Let's just make sure I'm doing this 100% right. On an 11, yep, we're going to mark a crack on your face in the crowd. The gremlin wants to be noticed.
Okay.
You're also going to burn all your power tags, which means you can no longer use them until you take steps to redo them through a montage or something.
So burn them on face in the crowd, or burn all of? Or is it like all of them across the board?
All the ones on face in the crowd.
Okay, are all burned.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for that subscription, Blair. And yeah, sure enough, time sort of melds and slows down. You see the bullet pull back in through the body of Imogen as her coat mends back up around it, back into the gun that fired it. And you see this guy, as Imogen is breaking this other guy's arm, his gun is now moving away from Imogen and back towards you.
Will Imogen, will she see, one, the gun moving towards Clint, and two, will she remember what
You
happened?
can't see any of this. This is time moving backwards for
Okay.
for Clinton and the thing.
Okay.
So whilst time's moving backwards, I'll allow the gremlin to move into a position to take advantage of this. You can hit him with all you've got.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So flaw identification, I assume,
Mhm.
of he's in control of his system now. Easy with complex system, everything's moving in reverse. So I would think that. I also just letting you know with my attention on mischief mastery, I gave myself another power tag. I'll try to come up with something witty. So for comedic timing, I figured that'd be a fun one for him since he's done it now twice. That he's done it with comedic timing.
Mhm.
Maybe like right back at you type idea. Through I'm gonna go with manipulation of mechanical fasteners again, because he's gonna try to do something again to make this gun backfire. Oh, I know what he's gonna do, and because very few people know this, he's gonna stick his finger in the muzzle of the gun, because that actually it makes the gun explode.
Mhm.
So that goes for the comedic timing as well.
Thank you, little puddles, for the sub.
And I'm going to say, since Imogen is safe, he's going to take that Imogen is calm, because now she is not shot.
By all means, yeah.
She's calm as anything before she's shot. She's got the
Yeah.
Moriarty's taken over. It's not her.
Would you like to remove your +2 before you roll?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me do the reset.
And obviously, if you'd like to consider your weaknesses.
Weaknesses, yeah, no. He's not surprised at this point. Since time is moving backwards, so I don't think he's sort of feeling very in control here. He does well. He wants attention for his work, and this is I reset it after I'd picked all my darn things. Sorry, comedic timing. He does want attention for his work, and since time is moving faster, no one's going to know.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical fasteners, and actually, he's not really being directly observed because time is moving backwards. So I think that's it.
You also have your -1 status of unsure of yourself.
Yep. So let me do the -1. So that puts me at a 2. And this is, I'm sorry, what am I doing? I'm doing the toe-to-toe? No.
Hit them with all you've got.
And remind me about dynamite.
So, dynamite, every move has a different dynamite effect. When you get attention and you can get dynamite on something like him with all you've got, there will be listed somewhere around page 270, I believe, a dynamite action that you can do for that thing.
And so how do I earn dynamite? If I've not earned dynamite yet, does that mean that I don't have it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have it. So never mind. I don't have it.
It's one of the things that you could do instead of getting an extra power tag.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I took that power tag, so we're good. So I guess I'm just gonna roll this to hit him with all I've got. And come on, mild success.
Okay, on an 8, you get to choose one of the following. When you have a clear shot and you use your abilities to hit someone or something with all you've got, you give the target an appropriate status of your choice with tier equals power, so you can give him a status of 2. And you can choose one of. You can take cover or secure a position. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you again. You get them good or get many of them, +1 tier. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention if possible, or you take the upper hand and get a juice. A juice you can use to increase or decrease tier statuses.
Well, the idea here is to disable the gun. That's what he's going for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point, having seen Imogen get shot, his number one priority is, I mean, whichever one of those would apply, is that the gun gets destroyed and is useless. So that we're now the two guns that were being used are now useless because guns kill people. If we're just talking fists and stuff, he's hoping the third guy doesn't have a gun at this point. So yeah, he sticks his finger right into the barrel of it with the idea that it's going to.
Yeah, I think that would count as taking a superior position in this fight.
Okay.
Because now you have a gun and no one else does. So they can't impose a status on you. What status would you like to give this person as their gun explodes in their hand?
Ooh, I mean, basically, injured hand. Like, can't he's gonna be, I guess it's just sort of injured, but it's his hand. So I mean, punching or things like that would be difficult for him. So,
yeah. So broken hand.
Broken hand.
Tier 2 broken hand. Okay. The two that can begin to run away.
Is there only one gun left?
Well, Clinton is holding a gun, and Imogen, the third person who had the gun on you, his gun is now on the floor.
Can I pick up the other gun?
Yes, you can. Give yourself the story tag gun.
Where do I put that? Sorry. Story tag. There we go. I'm not too sure how to do that, but I've ticked it either way. Yep. The ones that are running away, I literally just want to fire 2 bullets. Aim for both their leg, like a leg each, because I don't want them running away.
Hit them with all you've got, I think.
Right. Hang on a second. Laws of men don't apply. Kept on edge, kept on guard. Would this be a backed into the corner moment? I know it's not, but I'm thinking looking at my weaknesses. So
yeah, could be a reaction to being backed into a corner.
Or would it be flat? I think it'd probably be flashbacks actually more than anything.
You can take both if you want both. I'd say also firing a gun, learn anything. Is this the first time you've fired a gun?
Yes.
So you could take learn anything as well?
I know, I'm just trying to find that. There it is. Yeah, cheerfulness. Can I do it with a smile? Hang on. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all of it. So what am I rolling, sorry?
Hit them with all you've got.
Come on.
13.
Oh, look at you.
On a
I literally
13,
just want to take a leg out each.
you have 7 power,
Mm-hmm.
which can be translated into 7 tiers worth of status.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also choose 2 of the previous options that I gave to All School. You can take cover or secure a superior position. You get them good or get many of them, which is +1 to the tiers. You can control the collateral damage. You can hold the target's attention if possible, and you gain the upper hand. You can choose 2.
Okay, so she's going to... Sorry, what was the second one? It was the one where it's definitely damaging them, basically.
Get many
She's
of
doing it so
them,
that they fall over.
+1 to your tier. So you now have 8, which you could give 2 tier 4 statuses.
Okay. And the other one was it's strategically... What was it? Place myself in a...
Secure a
Good
superior position.
So as I'm shooting them, I want to walk towards them as I shoot them.
Yeah. Holding, perhaps, human shielding?
Yeah, probably. I've probably got the one that I'm just carrying along twisted with the arm and dragging him with me. I shoot the 2 of them,
Looks like we got a
one
new
leg each.
friend.
Yep.
And then I throw the third one in the middle of them where they've fallen.
So
And then
the statuses are going to work like this. You can give I almost want to give the status arrow to the knee. You can give the status
Bullet to the knee.
bullet
Yeah,
bullet to the leg to one of them tier 4. But the other one who has a broken hand as well, I'm actually going to up that to a tier 6 critically wounded.
okay, you won't be able to use the arm again.
No, that wait, the broken hand or the exploded hand?
The exploded hand.
Oh, which one?
So yeah,
Oh, that one.
He's
Yeah.
already bleeding out his hand, and now he's bleeding out his leg.
Mm-hmm. I'm right in thinking we're walking by a lake or a pond, aren't we?
Yeah, ducks.
I'm not going that dark. Calm down.
I was going to say, I know your brain.
Let's see that logo.
I've only been
Let's see
Moriarty
that logo
once, so I'm not going to go there.
screen.
I've only been Moriarty once, and she's going to lean down to them as she shot them both. You can calm down. I'm not going to kill you. But if you do something like this again, I will hurt you more than today. And this limp, I will now be able to spot you a mile off. And your hand, we are not going to be using a gun again, are you? And she literally goes to the pond and empties the bullets in and throws the gun in and goes, and no one's going to believe you. And then she turns around. It's like Imogen is back with a smile on, and she sort of just walks over to Clint. And she's like, you all right? Should we go?
Now, Alice, I'm looking at your character sheet. There is no attention and no cracks. I feel like there needs to be some attention and cracks.
Yeah, you've taken a lot. You've taken your flaws quite a few times.
Yeah, you've got to have some attention on there.
Well, how am I doing that? Sorry. So the attention, what?
You
On
just-
Every time you
Moriarty.
succeed with a weakness, it gives you attention to whatever you.
Whichever card it is gets attention.
Right. So it's going to be Moriarty, isn't it?
So, like, don't back me in corner and nightmares and flashbacks both
Yeah.
have.
Those two have. Right. That's an attention.
You've used both of them twice, so they both get
Yeah.
they both get 2 attention.
2 attentions.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There we go.
And
And
do you
Moriarty,
feel
I've
like-
Well,
used-
nightmare and flashbacks you've used 3 times, so you've already got
Have
an
I used it
upgrade
3?
on whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, held it. Yeah, no. I've definitely used flashbacks 3 times.
So
I've
that,
only used back into a corner twice.
Yeah, don't back me into a corner twice.
Mm.
that gives you an attention. That gives you 3 attention, which gives you a new perk. We can sort that out later. We'll carry on with the narrative for
Yeah.
now. But the cracks are what are interesting me. I'm looking at this happy-go-lucky thing with no cracks on it after you just threatened to kill 3 people.
He was happy about it, but yeah, carry on.
Do you feel like there should be any cracks on here?
Yeah, they probably should,
Okay.
I'd say. Okay. I didn't drown them like you thought I was going to.
Well, I suppose that's happier-go-lucky than I thought. How does Clinton react to this?
Stand by. Oh, no. Even as Clinton, odd as the gremlin, Clinton is back. And he just sees Imogen walking up to him and just washing their hands. We only have. He looks at his watch, and he's missing 2 minutes. We only have 1 minute to get to work.
Oh, we better hurry then.
Because they're down the path, right? It's just
Mhm.
3. It's like sort of this mound of people just down the path. But yeah. So, and Clinton was gone.
You can remove the gun story tag now.
Okay.
Because you threw it in the pond. And
Yeah.
with that, I think we will pan across to our good old John Doe, striding towards the church with the body of Dinah.
Yes.
As you are walking, first of all, because Isriva donated to give the corpse free wild magic surges, but unfortunately only one of them was relevant. And I believe they're all quite high. Scroll back up a little bit, see what them numbers were, so I can remember. 325. A large tub of melted cheese seems to fall from one of the skyscrapers and just hits the body.
What state is this going to be in by the time you get it there?
It's as though someone's dropped a hot pan out of a window or something.
Vincenzo nachos.
Hot cheese, like a hot glob of cheese. Like somebody was eating some kind of chili cheese dog up on like 4 stories up,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just this.
and it just globs right onto the dead body.
Yep.
John just keeps walking.
Perfect.
Oh man. Uh-oh. A cheese. He is just on his auto-pathed way to the church. Just he's walking. No expression. And he is walking down in front of a lot of people, carrying this dead body towards the church. He's in tears, but he has more of a stern, stone, cold expression on his face. He has a little bit of like that, those dry marks after you've cried a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But other than that, it's just stone and cold, and he is walking to the church.
Do you know what? Strangely enough, with the with everything that's happened and all the people that look at you, and despite the fact that you are carrying a body, you're walking confidently and in tears. No one just wants to get involved with this. No one calls the cops on you or anything. You, despite many hurt looks or views askew, you can make this walk without gaining the ire of anyone.
He takes advantage that that people will move away from him because of the way he's dressed. Well, actually, he looks a lot better now. He looks like David Bowie. So he'll just, I feel like people part because they see that he has a dead body.
Mhm.
He wouldn't be carrying the dead body out in public if he killed the dead body. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So he makes it to the church, and he goes up and he walks into the doors up to the altar and places Dinah's body on the altar, where he just collapses. He collapses onto the stairs that lead up to the altar in front of the giant crucifix at the that is on the altar, and he begins to sob and cry. He says, "I wish I was faster. If I was just a little bit faster, I would have stopped him. Why wasn't I fast enough?" And I'm going to flavor this because we had to replace a theme book for John because he lost his kind beggar man. I'm feeling like we'll retcon it to be the effects where we have to replace. It would be like a stop holding back where, and I know one of them is you have to replace the theme book. So we replace it with the theme book, and I feel like at that moment, these two giant feathery wings begin to just form around John, as if hugging him and embracing him,
Mm-hmm.
kind of bringing him close. He is confused and he looks around. He doesn't know who has the wings until he stands up and notices that he has these wings.
Mm-hmm.
And then he begins to scream his head off in fear, just loudly, calling for Father Doyle. And hopefully Father Doyle is around.
Father Doyle was in the back rooms of the church, and he comes rushing through. Tell me, can he see the wings?
Yes, these wings are visible to everyone, and they have some kind of energy flowing off of them. He would feel calm around the wings. Just it gives off this calming aura.
Okay, so Father Doyle comes forth and immediately just begins reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Okay. All right. Okay. Dinah's dead. Fuck, Dinah's dead. I have wings. Dinah's dead. Monkey. Where's Monkey? Where's Lee? Father Doyle, have you seen Lee? Did Lee come back this way?
I've not seen
Have
her.
you seen Lee?
No, I've not seen her at all. And seeing the body, he begins going through the whole, again, another Latin prayer.
Yeah.
I don't know my Latin prayers, but I know it ends in Requiescat in pace.
He makes the cross. I don't know if she had any funeral arrangements. She also was murdered by a man named Vincenzo. Oh man, you should have seen it. It was awesome. I felt like I was in control. If it felt natural to me. He shot Dinah. And it was just like I remembered all of the moves.
Felt awesome. You witnessed your friend's death and you felt awesome, my son.
I felt enraged at first. And then it's like something came over me. And next thing I know, I was up the stairs and I grabbed Vincenzo and I held him over the balcony. I was going to drop him, but something, held me back. He shot at me and the bullets didn't even pierce me. I proceeded to stab him in self-defense and he grabbed me and I cut his vocal cords out and I disarmed him literally, but it's not that makes me feel awesome that I did it. It was awesome in the sense that I felt like I've done it before.
Hey, John, you must consult the police about this. You'll have to give a full report.
I plan on doing so. I didn't know where to take her. The hospital is no good because look at her. She already there's no way the hospital could have done anything. So I brought her back here to keep her body safe while I went and reported to the police, but I feel like I'm getting my memory back, Father, which is weird. They keep calling me Danny, but they keep saying I look like a Danny. I don't know who that is.
I have no idea.
Also, what are these wings? What are these? I'm kind of freaked out.
You ask me. I've seen wings like them, but I have no idea what they are.
I don't know either. Do you think I can fly?
He goes behind the altar around the body of Dinah.
Does he pull out the communion wine?
No. Instead, he peels out a large book. It is a large Bible, which he rarely uses. It has gold leaf on the cover and all sorts. It's divine. And he turns to some pages in the Old Testament and finds a picture of the archangel flying in the sky as sulfur rains on the people below. And I have seen these things before.
That's
Shows
not
you.
me. They yes, the archangels protect us, but they're
You say you enjoyed wreaking vengeance on this person.
I felt like it's something that was, I don't know, I've done before. It have you ever I don't know how to describe it. It's like I once knew how to ride this bike and I forgot, and I just hopped on a bike and started pedaling. It felt very familiar. Maybe this is what I did, before the accident.
Or perhaps you are the angel of vengeance reincarnate.
No, that's... No, I don't want to be that. That's not what I want to be. I want to be John Doe. But I don't know. There's just something exciting a little bit about maybe finding out who I was. But an angel, I am far from divinity.
Look at yourself, John.
Okay, if I am an angel, what would I do? What is the first thing I would do?
I would be very careful if I were you. It's been a long time since the Old Testament. Things are done differently these days.
Yep, definitely different.
You cannot
Can't go around stoning people.
No. Or raining fire from the sky. It will draw many eyes.
Do you think I could do that?
I have no idea. I am talking to a man that I know to be a good man who has sprouted wings in my church over the body of a person that he has avenged and enjoyed avenging.
Is that bad?
If it's the will of God, it is in the word of God, and the Old Testament and the New Testament conflict, so
So we make our own testament.
That sounds like the words of a fanatic.
Well, if I'm an angel, then surely I should be able to. No. No, that's going down a darker.
Very dangerous
path.
path. There is one Lord, our Father, who art in heaven.
Hallowed be his name. Right. Okay. I guess I'm going to. I need to go find my friends. I gotta go find Lee.
Well, that seems like a perfect cue to go and find out what Lee's been doing since her reaction earlier. And now Father Doyle pulls out the communion wine and 2 glasses.
John just kind of like, he goes outside the front of the church, big feathery wings. He looks around. Okay, just once, because it's going to be so cool. And he kind of like takes like a Superman like jump, like he's prepping for a Superman jump, and then he just kind of jumps into the air and he takes him to the sky.
People's eyes pass you as you do this, as though you're not even there.
Wonderful.
So, Lee, as John goes to try and find you, where are you? Where have you headed?
You know, that's a good question. After she's clambered out of the window of the office, climbed back up onto the roof, she just starts running. She's not even sure where she's going. She just feels like she needs out. She needs away. She can't get caught because getting caught means she's let down the gang more than she has already. And she just starts running, and she doesn't realize, know when she started crying, but she did. Maybe it's just the wind whipping past her face as she jumps from building to building. And she probably finds herself at the edge of the park. She and Asia used to go there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of just pats her backpack, feeling the file she was able to recover.
Oh, there's several files.
She didn't really pick and choose, she just grabbed what she could and fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
She also feels the CD player that Dinah gave her. And she just kind of sits on top of this building at the edge of the park.
Do you
There's
look
a
at,
bit of a...
do you read the files or listen to the CD or?
Yeah, she pulls out the CD and just kind of not 100% sure how it works, but Dinah explained it. Puts it on and just presses play.
Was it Nirvana that she'd given you? I'm trying to recall.
I'm pretty sure. And she starts pulling out the files because She can't let the gang down again.
These are your boss's top secret files. The first is about a robbery planned on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
On the casino against Vincenzo during the act. There is intelligence on the act. There is a moment in the act when Marco makes Vincenzo disappear and appears in his place in the same clothes. During this time, Vincenzo is kept in a sort of like a panic room beneath the stage. And at the end, they swap back round again. It's during this time that Vincenzo is indisposed and everyone is likely to be watching the stage that they plan to take all of the money out of the back of the casino. And all of the guns that they know have been stored there and everything else. It's planned to be no confrontation. Go in, lock the doors, take everything, get out.
Who was supposed to be spearheading this?
Your boss. AJ is also heavily involved.
Sheila's just kind of like angrily wiping away at the tears, more pissed off at the crying than anything. So that's what you wanted me to check out. Boss. What did the others' files say?
They're not massively important. One involves another robbery somewhere else in town. Small fry stuff, really, but seems to be important to your boss for some reason. However, the last is about the diner and plans to buy it.
Huh. Okay. I shoved the files back in. And there's a small part of Sheilan that is thinking, how can I use this? How can I use this to my advantage? How can I come up on top? I've just been punched down low. How can I use this? And there's a voice that responds as it says, "You've got cunning equal to heaven. We'll figure it out." And she's gonna stand up with the CD player still in, still listening. And she's going to clamber down and see if she can. She's gonna head back towards the.
Every time you make like a dramatic movement, the CD skips.
Yeah.
It's
She-
really
she-
frustrating.
Yep. But she keeps it in. He sticks her hands in her hoodie pockets and starts walking from the edge of the park towards the diner.
Why don't we have you all converge at the diner at the same time? We'll call it 9 p.m. Does that work on Clinton's schedule?
Yeah, 9 p.m. is when work starts. So, if Imogen, maybe after our encounter, says, perhaps we should go back to the diner or something.
Oh yeah, because you guys wanted to go to the casino, didn't you?
We were headed towards the casino, but I mean, we can
Like after that, maybe we just thought we'll have another coffee.
Need another coffee after threatening people and
Mm.
I mean,
So
sounds
actually, would
legit.
we have not seen the bodies then? Would we have just turned around and gone back?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
you wouldn't
Richard
think.
very much could have done it to not lead Clinton by the bodies.
Yeah, that works.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
she's like, no. That's why she walked back and turned
Forgotten
around.
something at the diner, or that you needed to, maybe we shouldn't keep it closed that long. Whatever. Clinton would pretty much believe.
Uh-huh.
So she, as like she enters back into the diner, she sort of opens the door quite and sort of starts taking off like coat and scarf and hanging them all up, and heads back behind, tying her apron back on and heading back behind the bar and turning on all the coffee machines again.
So I think what we'll do is we'll have Lee arrive first, but we'll have John in the sky seeing Lee near the diner. I imagine you'd start looking there. It makes sense. So Lee, you arrive first.
yeah, she has her hood pulled up, hands in her pockets as she walks in. And there's some stains on her what used to be fairly white shoes.
Yes,
Like-
Jay?
Just as a note, just because I think that Lee would notice, how I'm wanting to play my having burned my face in the crowd card is, when he stuck his finger in the gun, that basically, whatever explosion in blood that happened from blowing up in the other guy's hand, basically, he's kind of like got a splatter pattern of blood up one of his arms. So, that's sort of like the hard to notice, assumed harmless and just doing their job. With all that burn, basically, Clinton has no idea that this is all over. And probably very obviously in his coat pocket, there's a 44 Magnum that he pulled out of nowhere. So for anyone with trained eye, he no longer is a face in the crowd because he has one hand that basically has sort of like, gunpowder and blood stains up it. And looks like he basically has a 44 Magnum just sort of shoved in like a members only jacket pocket.
Yeah, Sheilon would definitely notice those things, as those are things you usually have to look for on the job.
Yeah. And he's just sitting at the bar, sitting at his normal seat, having a coffee. Talking.
And Imogen looks up and is like, Lee, like, and sees it. Come in, and she immediately starts going to make like a hot chocolate or something. She's like, you right?
Imogen's shoes covered in blood, tears stain
Yeah.
Lee's
Oh,
face.
she's seen it. She's seen it. Why don't you come sit down over here? And she sort of ushers Lee towards one of the booths that are at the back. He's like, why don't you sit down? Lee, talk to me. What's wrong? What's happened? Lee?
Mm.
Where's John and Dinah?
Dinah's gone.
Gone where?
Gone. Killed. Dead.
What?
She's dead.
I spoke to her like, what, like she's almost completely speechless. She said, where, how, where is she?
I don't know. John took her somewhere.
I imagine it'd be about now that John walks through the door as well.
John doesn't know how to land. So he
Myself.
tries to like stop flapping his wings, and he just stops, and he immediately plummets into the car beneath him that is outside the diner and just craters it.
I assume that
Would
gets all
Imogen would interpret Lee saying John took Dinah as he did it. Maybe. She will see this happen almost unfazed by the fact that he has wings and he's just crashed into a car.
So do we see it, or does the mist obscure it?
You are rifts. You can see things.
Gotcha. Okay.
You just, yeah, he craters this parked taxi. I feel like there's somebody in the diner who drives a taxi and just cratered his poor taxi.
The
I
taxi
kind of-
driver doesn't react at all.
And I kind of like hop off, and I look up, and then I look down at the taxi, and the wings kind of shift and twitch as they kind of fold their way perfectly onto my back. And he walks into the diner.
For a moment, I almost envisioned, like, you know, the pigeon.
Yeah, the meta pigeon.
They fold up. They fold up.
Yeah, they're very badly animated 3D wings. They always are extended.
You can't get through the door. It's like a oversized cosplay.
Exactly. Somebody forgot to actually articulate the wings. They just decided to leave them extended, so now you can't do anything without smacking somebody in the head. No, so they fold in, and he walks through the door and he says, Dinah's gone. He's covered in blood. Dinah's blood.
Imogen
yeah.
stands, basically, and looks at Lee.
She's immediately, as soon as she hears John's voice, has shrunk into the booth.
Imogen
John-
will see this and probably walk quite firmly over to John and basically just shove him as hard as she can into the doors he just came through, and she's just like, "What have you done?"
Me?
Yes, you. And she
I've
just
done
gives
nothing.
another shove.
He
What-
allows him.
he's- like looking at all his
I carried her
bloody clothes.
from the casino all the way to Father Doyle's church.
Casino. What?
Vincenzo's casino. Apparently they had history, and he pulled a gun. Twice in the chest, one in the head.
And Imogen just looks back at Lee, like utterly confused at this point.
I branded him. I stabbed him. Tore out his vocal cords, and I disarmed him. Literally.
Is he dead?
I couldn't do it. Couldn't go that far.
And Imogen just logs that and sort of takes a step back.
But if you look for a man in white with one arm and he can't talk, that's him. I wasn't fast enough to stop him. They kind of walked up the stairs, and I wasn't able until I heard the first shot. I wasn't able to get there. And by that time, the other two shots happened, and she was dead.
Imogen will
you
probably back up and take a seat.
I could have gotten there.
John looks down and he wants to say, well, why didn't you? But he holds his tongue. And he just kind of nods. I wasn't fast enough. Maybe you could have. But it happened. There's nothing we can do about it now. What's done is done.
Other than maiming a person like that?
He was going to kill me, so I took his arm. He was strangling me. He's very strong. Not. I've been into a lot of scuffles. I've been beaten by a lot of drunks and people who just don't like vagrants. He had me by the neck, and it felt like he was going to pop my head off from my shoulders just by squeezing. So I chopped his arm off in self-defense. And I took his voice because he took Dinah's.
And Sheila just kind of stands up and very clearly keeping a distance between her and John, walks over to Clinton and pulls out the file with the robbery plans.
Do you need me to refresh the details, or do you have them?
I've got enough of them, but as this was all going on, I was looking at I think my not my logos, the other. I think I just cracked. Hard cracked. I had one left. Cognizant identity is my life is unchanging. And this all just unfolded right in front of him. Surprise is, it's not repetitive. Everything is messed up. It's not routine. And the big one, for the crack especially, Imogen is not calm. There was nothing there to save him. So I think that's his final crack on the cog in the machine.
So with the final crack, we change it to a nascent theme for now. You lose all of the abilities, power tags, and improvements. It can just stay nascent for now. You don't have to decide on a new mythos during the game, but you get to build on your mythos. Perhaps you could do that throughout the week, ready for next session, unless you have something preconceived that you'd like to do.
Well, that was the thing I was trying to think of, because here's the thing. This was where I was just like, how do I play this? Because you have to remember also, his face in the crowd right now is burned to the ground.
Uh-huh. With like one crack left.
Yeah, with one crack left. And it's so right now I think Clinton is not here. And as Lee comes over and places the file down, looking for, I assume it's some kind of analysis or whatever, Clinton spins around on the chair and sort of bats the file to the floor with a big scatter of papers, and stands up and saunters over to Imogen and goes, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, and she walks into mine. I want to talk to whoever's inside of there, because I saw what they could do out there by the lake.
And you see Imogen sort of give you a really confused, questioning look for a moment, but then there's a little curl at her lips where she smiles a little bit.
Pretty impressive,
And
sweetheart.
what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how we're going to figure this out. Because, well, my boy, who's a bit indisposed right now, might be good with the numbers. I think you're good with the plans.
Yes, it's quite observant of you. Well done.
And he spins around to Lee and goes, and a little wall crawler here. She, I think she's got a lot to offer. And then we got the Avenging Angel.
I don't like that. I don't like that word. I don't like that title. Nope. I'm just John.
But it is what you do, isn't it?
No.
What we've heard.
I sit on a curb and I watch
You sneak
people.
up on men and maim them and chop their arms off and threaten to kill
I
them.
did not
Brand-
sneak up on him. I took him head on. I didn't sneak. I'm not a thief. I'm not an assassin.
But you still chopped his arm off. You
He
still
w-
branded him.
He was
you
going to kill
enjoy it?
me.
Did you?
It felt familiar. Maybe.
Did you enjoy it?
It felt familiar. It felt like I made a difference.
So you enjoyed it?
I
thought so.
You know what? Fine. She's dead. You can pick up her body over at Father Doyle's church. I'm going to go find Vincenzo. If you guys want to
Chop
make
his
a plan.
other arm off?
No.
Looks like we
I'm
got a
going to
new
drag him
friend.
kicking and screaming to the police. He kind of like turns on his heels and starts walking out the door.
Oh, so you really think it's that easy? Yep, sure, okay.
I don't know if you notice this, Lee. He doesn't have anything that can really hurt me. So yes, I do think it's rather easy.
Oh, sure. And she's picking up the papers off the floor and putting in the folio.
Look, I didn't want you to see what you saw. You were supposed to be not around. You and Dinah were supposed to go through the front. And I was supposed to stay in the back. If it stuck to that, then it would have been Vincenzo shooting at me. And we all know that bullets really don't hit me, don't we, Lee?
I would like to go toe to toe with John.
Okay.
And just as an example, the gremlin pulls the 44 out of the pocket and is going to put it right up to the back of John's head, not pull the trigger, because the gremlin can phase through solid matter. And he thinks that that's going to go, whatever shielding John might have, say, it's only if you know what you're dealing with, that nothing can touch you.
Clint, you're a good man. Put the gun away.
No intention of pulling it, just saying you might not want to go off with your wings all flutter.
Well, it seems to be that I have been blamed for Dinah's death, and I can see that it still hurts. And since I was the one who harmed Vincenzo, I feel like it is my duty to at least track him down.
A little bit of it's right now. Imogen is really fighting between the Moriarty side and Imogen's side because she also doesn't like any of them put in danger. So she's twitching a little bit, and she walks over and she stands in front of Clint and puts her hand on the gun and slowly pushes it down and says, "Don't ruin the game too early."
This isn't a game. This is life.
Which is a game. An elaborate game. The odds are it's just who wins or dies.
See, now you're talking. See, you see the game, and I see how to cheat.
I made the game. I see how people cheat. It's not a bad thing. It's a mechanic.
That's why we get along so well, sweetheart.
And she smiles and makes sure that he sort of, maybe if he lets her, just takes the gun off him.
Can I just ask, whilst we're in this scene, how is Lee feeling? Because I can see they've closed up. I just want to get a window into their mind for a second before we carry on.
She is freaked out. She is... Every bit of her is going into fight and flight mode. She thought she'd come here for stability, for ideas, for, a way forward. And here they are completely different people. And her mind, again, there's that voice, how can I make this to my advantage?
With all the things going on, I think I'm going to mark a crack on your crew theme. If anyone would like to contest that, I feel like these events are changing the way you guys form.
I think so. I think definitely it's a crack on our crew theme.
Now, Imogen and Clinton, if you'd like to carry on.
No, he lets her take it down, take the gun down, and he actually hands it to her and goes, "Not my style anyway."
Thank you. And she walks behind the bar and puts the gun behind the bar. And it's almost as if it didn't, like, Imogen's back, because she starts wiping down the bar. Not saying anything. If anything, she's just humming to herself.
Okay. What I would like to do is I would like to montage for an extended period of time. I'm going to give you some key events. If you want, you can turn this into a couple of montages each. The next day, the papers come out. Casino celebration cancelled. rumors of Vincenzo going missing. Your boss is healed and arrested, Lee. He's completely incarcerated. It's a very open and shut case. There's enough evidence at the base to lock him up for a very long, lock her up for a very long time. AJ dies in hospital. They have never encountered anything like the serum that was affecting his very mind, and they couldn't find an antidote for it. At first, he was just diagnosed as mentally unstable and suicidal, as he kept trying to self-harm whenever he was left alone. But eventually, he just went into a catatonic state, and eventually, his whole body just froze in this massive grin, as though he'd been asphyxiated. As for the rest of you, the news will probably depend on what you do. But those are the key things. So, why don't we go around? We'll organise this in order. We'll go around the table in our usual L shape. We'll do a montage each, and then maybe a second one. We'll see how far things go. So we'll start with Lee.
Well, that's a full crack on the gang. Yeah.
Oh.
She doesn't know what to do. She still just plays the CD over and over again until the battery dies. She's gonna work the case. It's the only thing she has left. So she's gonna, with the files in her bag, before, you know, they depart for whatever happens in here, to John, she's like, you can grab Vincenzo's kicking and screaming to the police. They'll just let him go like every single other time. So good luck with that.
How would you
And-
like to use your montage action? You could work the case, try and figure things out. You could try and recover. If you like, because we're doing it in one montage, you could try and pay some attention to the gang to reduce a crack so you can keep hold of it if you want to, or if you feel like the gang is gone.
I feel like it's pretty gone.
Okay. So let's just remind myself the other montage actions. There's give attention to one of your logos. You can explore your mythos. Prepare for your next activity, whatever that may be, or recover from your last activity, which involves removing statuses and such. Or, of course, work the case where you can get more clues about what's going on.
She wants to know who did this to her family.
Well, do it with me cinematically. How do you investigate? And you get 3 clues.
I sneak back to the office. I go through the yellow tape. I go through the window. And thinking like somebody from a rival gang, I retrace steps. What would I have done if this was me? How would I have gotten in? Who would I have gone? Where would I have gone first? where would I go next?
Go one step further than that. If you like, you can find the full police report.
I would like the police report.
Several boot prints enter the building. Unrecognized, not yet identified. The boot prints leave, and a table which you had thought was part of the police, perhaps forensic equipment, is listed as some sort of makeshift lab set up. The wounds inflicted on your gang are all caused by people within the gang. They did this to each other. However, the information that the police would not know that Lee might, if she was speaking with her boss regularly, you'll recognize one of the boot prints, at least. These shoes are more expensive from the tread and size. They match the foot of Vincenzo. But no one named Vincenzo. Perhaps he was wearing a mask.
And even so, the police are in his pockets.
2 more clues.
What are the possible places that Vincenzo could go to hide, to run?
Could have left town. He has properties all over the world. He could have receded to one of his safe houses. Could even be hiding at the police commissioner's house. Could literally be anywhere. If you'd like to expand on that, I won't cost you your clue because I didn't really give you very much.
Who would know where he is?
Who would know where he is? So how would you be investigating that?
I'd be thinking back as to all the list of contacts and possible people that I could have been trailing on this initial job. Going through connections.
Mm-hmm. There are a number of people. One is his lead henchman, Nathaniel. There's another couple of people who might know that sort of thing. There's also his current flame, who goes by the name of Fiona Long.
Oh, right-hand man's. So, where's that guy's house?
Nathaniel's?
Mm-hmm.
Here in town. He's got an apartment. It's on the nicer side of town. They say crime doesn't pay, but... Okay, we might conclude with another montage shortly, but I'm going to take those as your 3 clues for now.
Right.
Imogen.
I think she'd still be working right now. She's almost gone back full Imogen, basically. She's back in her usual state.
So what, exploring a Logos, or? If you guys want, if you and Clint want to work together,
I was
because
going
I know
to
you
say,
do a lot
it
together.
depends.
Yeah, no. So I'm thinking I think Moriarty would know this as well. Something has changed drastically in the balance of Clinton. And I think it would be interesting because I don't see the gremlin
Looks
wanting
like
to
we got a
help
new
Clinton
friend.
come back. But I think that both Imogen and Moriarty want and need him back. Otherwise, I mean, I think that you might have a hint of you've got a loose cannon without Clinton there.
Needs to be some form of order.
Right. And, you know, sort of how I described the face in the crowd, I could very much see you maybe, you know, getting Clinton cleaned up, get this blood off of him, sort of put him back, you know, his face in the crowd, get him back to being hard to notice, assumed harmless, just doing their job, put him back on, you know, these things that you might sort of all but have to, and Moriarty, I think, with no problem could do, sort of trick the gremlin into allowing you to, let me get you a fresh shirt. Let me, you really should wash your hands. Those types of things.
I was going to say she'll probably, like she did before, because it's a regular thing again, she will pull out one of the black chef's jackets because the chefs are never there. So it's
Right.
brand new, out of a packet with absolutely nothing on it.
Yep.
Just be like, you might want to put this on.
Yep. And
And you've got something like here.
yeah,
And she points to his arm.
and I never liked how he dressed and just sort of, and you know, he's kind of like flirt. You know, I think the gremlin's kind of flirting a little bit, and so was going to do what you say, and whatever you want, sweetheart. And I think before the gremlin is aware, you know, you guide him over to Clinton's
His
seat,
chair.
sitting down.
And instead of doing a coffee to go, she will do the old coffee she used
Right.
to give him, where it was the sugar pot to the right with the spoon.
Food
pointing
and set it up,
to-
and the gremlin might not realize it, but I think probably with the coffee, when you set the last piece down in the exact spot,
When she puts the spoon, probably,
yeah,
on the saucer.
that, because I think you said I could use a montage to unburn.
Yes, you can prepare for
far.
your next activity where you can regain all your burnt power tags.
So, and I think with like almost with the placement of the spoon, maybe a little shaky just at first as Clinton is regaining control, and then does his 1 scoop of sugar, the 4 seconds dollop of milk, that sort of stuff. Nice weather we're having.
And she just smiles, probably through realization that, yeah, it's quite nice.
Isn't it though? And Clinton checks his watch. Actually doesn't check his watch because the schedule's weird right now, but he sits and sips his coffee. Actually, you know what? Ooh, this would be perfect. Moriarty would know too. Because you so would know. What question am I going to ask? With perfect timing, at 12:06 a.m., BLT, no mayo, 3 slices of bacon, 1 tomato, 1 piece of lettuce, lightly toasted, sliced diagonally, no side dish, no dessert.
You will.
That's his actual normal schedule, and that actually might even work time-wise. That it's 12:06 a.m. by the time all this unfolds.
Find that she's already made it.
Yeah.
And she literally produces it. And puts it
Moriarty
in front.
would also know, or be able to tell how close Clint is to losing control.
Mhm.
And he sits there and very methodically with his coffee, that as she set it down, fixes his coffee exactly as he fixes it, and eats his lunch quietly as he does normally 348 rest of the days of the year when he's not on foot, sitting on his chair.
So, I think we've got a prepare for the next activity for Clinton. What is Imogen montage in this?
Do I get to remove a
She's-
crack or no? Okay, just not
Crack's a
burn.
crack,
It's
I
fine.
think.
Yeah.
You can use your power tags again, but you can't remove the crack.
Okay.
I think she will try a 1. She's trying to get Clint back a bit more. And she's more aware of Moriarty than she was before. So she's probably watching him. She's going through her normal routine of cleaning the coffee machines and setting up all the normal bits and bobs, but she is watching Clint to see how he's behaving, if the routine is still there, and she's probably trying to work out if she can alter the routine in a positive way, because this is Imogen.
So that almost sounds to me like you're exploring your mythos. Perhaps you're giving some attention to your Moriarty thing. You're seeing how you can influence Clinton.
I think it's a bit of both, because she's genuinely doing this in a nice way for Clinton, but the Moriarty manipulation side.
Well, you can choose then. It's either working on a logos or working on a mythos.
See, I kind of want to say mythos, but I think this is logos.
It's up to you.
I think this is her trying to be nice. She isn't doing this in a malicious way at all.
Okay, so you can mark attention to the relevant logos.
Okay.
So that leaves John. What does John do?
After everything that went down at the diner, he goes looking for Vincenzo. And he starts shaking every hornet's nest that he can find with the help of his vagrant network. Any place that they would say that they've seen Vincenzo's men, he is there literally shaking down everyone, lifting them up, flying in the air, shaking them till something falls out.
Is this working the case?
Yeah.
So I guess your first question is trying to find out where Vincenzo is.
Yes.
Vincenzo's gang have taken to wearing masks over the next couple of days. Clown masks, black masks, you name it. They start covering their faces as they move through town. As you are holding one person high in the air, dangling him, he cries to you in a panic that Vincenzo's out of town and someone else is looking after things for a while.
And I said, who is that person?
I don't know. He wears a mask. He speaks with Vincenzo's authority.
Where is he?
He's at the casino most days.
Is he in Vincenzo's office?
Sometimes, yes.
Are you lying to me? As he says this, he takes the person that he's holding, probably by the scruff collar of his neck, tosses him up and grabs him by the ankle and starts dangling him.
I'm not lying! I just want to live!
All right. Thank you so much. And he kind of like lowers himself down. He's gotten a little bit of a hang of just kind of lowering himself down, and he kind of just drops him maybe 4 feet onto the sidewalk, and then he takes off towards the casino.
Hey, you gotta be careful though. He's got influence.
And I've got God. And he flies off.
I lost count of the clues there.
I
I got too into it.
Well, you you gave me where Vincenzo's second in command is, so yep. There you go. That'll count. I'll do that trade.
Awesome. As so this is probably on the last day. Well, maybe one of the papers you'll see, as we are now on 2 days until the New Year's Eve party. The papers read, and all of you will see this at some point, perhaps even as you're on your very way to the casino. The headlines: "The show must go on." New Year's Eve party to be on after all at the casino. Vincenzo returns, making a guest appearance. Does this influence any of you?
John continues to go straight for the casino.
Imogen, Lee, Quentin?
So it's 2 days until the show. We were at 5 days. So I think Clinton for the last 3 days has actually been on his work schedule, even though he's not going to work. He leaves the diner, comes in and leaves, walking the path as though he's going to work. And unless someone follows him, people don't know where he's going. But his normal sort of, his shift that normally starts at 9, and then at 9 o'clock, he stops in for his coffee at 8:42, and then and leaves 4 minutes later, and then is again at 12:06, and then they'd see him walk by the diner at 5:02 to get the bus that he normally gets. But for 3 days, he's been, even though they certainly, Imogen knows that he's in furlough right now, he isn't like, it's not like the first day
I'm
where he
going
spends
to
it at the bar.
interject here.
Okay.
Your cog in the machine has been cracked. It is gone.
Yep.
Every time you try and get back into your schedule, something goes wrong. The gremlin makes it so you absolutely cannot. From the buses breaking down, to sidewalk signs reading stopped all the time, to the coffee machine breaking, to every single thing that you try to do on schedule goes wrong. Every single thing.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. But Clinton, it doesn't bother him anymore. The bigger thing is he's being the face in the crowd, that he doesn't exist. These things that are happening are making it so he blends in even more. He's sort of just moving with the flow of traffic now, becoming harder and harder to notice as he maneuvers around, even though he's on sort of third shift. He seems to just kind of blend in. And I think he still stops in at the diner, but it's just not on that schedule. Maybe just to reinforce Imogen, reinforcing somewhat of what's left of Clinton.
I'm going to throw something else in. Below the headline saying the show must go on, there's another headline about a popular business in town, the one that you work for. It's gone bust. The factory's shutting down. The offices are closing.
Will Imogen have read this
Oh, yeah.
in a paper? Okay.
Well, and part of Clinton's routine is paper, but it's interesting since everything's not coming. Maybe his paper isn't coming, because for some whatever reason his paper hasn't been coming. Well, I actually, I need to figure out how to play this out a little bit. Oh, actually, I know exactly. The gremlin absolutely knows that this happened, because my full intent was during that time he was normally at work, the gremlin was flexing his new mythos card of being the ghost in the machine. And the gremlin has been moving all of their money around, has been playing havoc with all of their financials here at year end. And basically, before it was just breaking the machines, he's now moved on to breaking the company. How often does Imogen check her checking account?
She doesn't have a lot, so she has an amount that she will check probably every couple of days. Maybe once a week at the moment, because everything is just so...
There was an unidentified deposit of $1 million into your account. Do I need to roll like a changing in the game for that? Or...
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you can roll change the game, and it will give, depending on the success, will give either Imogen, it will depend. I'm going to give you a story tag either way. Your roll is going to depend on what that story tag is.
Okay. So let's see. Software hacking, electronic mayhem, eyes everywhere, I would think would go towards that. Hard to notice, so we get access to the points. Assumed harmless, just doing his job. I mean, the gremlin knows how to use Clinton to get where he needs to be. Flaw identification. I'd love to do comedic timing, but I'm not being clever right now. It's getting late. And actually, even to phase through solid matter in case there's actually precautions of that if it's a terminal locked in a safe, to be able to actually access those types of things. I think actually some of there would be antivirus and security measures, so that's definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing this in the middle of the night when everyone's on furlough, so I don't think he's going to get confronted. Wants attention for his work. Yeah, that's going to work against him. I think that's the only one.
Okay.
Here's a question.
Of course.
Can he use the diner power tag? Since it affects the diner, or not really? That's really more like if we're in the diner, right?
Yeah,
no,
you're trying to empower the diner. I think you can use it.
Well, he doesn't give a damn about the diner. He wants to empower. He actually wants to empower Moriarty, is who he really wants to influence. So we'll stick with that. I think we'll stick with that.
Okay.
And this has changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
The 15.
On a 15. On a 15. Imogen is going to get the following story tag.
Okay.
Filthy rich.
I can finally feed my cat Iams.
You are filthy rich. You've got all this money that's appeared in your account. The papers talk of this success story where a long lost relative has left you a ton of money. It's said to be your brother. Clinton finds out your brother's name, James Carter, and I
will immediately know that's a lie.
Changes everything so it looks as though James has died and left you all this money.
Offshore accounts, all the good ways that it's totally untrackable, untaxable.
The only thing is that little wants attention for his work.
Yep.
The reference on one of the deposits says, "What lovely weather today." Or how about that weather? Whatever it is that Clinton always says.
Yeah.
How would this affect Imogen? I'm thinking it's going to crack something.
So many cracks this session.
Would it crack or would it actually do empower Moriarty?
Possibly empower Moriarty, but I'm looking at that brother betrayed me card.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
forgot. I
she
didn't
will-
know. I don't know all of her cards.
No. She will immediately know this isn't her brother
Mm-hmm.
without even before looking at the little quote that's at the bottom. Before it happens, she's quite shocked for a start. But at the same time, there's a nagging feeling at the back of her head that this is fine. She deserves it. She's had horrible things happen in the last few years or so. She doesn't have any money. She works damn hard. And she lives in a tiny little apartment. And she can't do anything because it's literally the money goes in to pay her rent, feed her and Jerry, her cat, and the rest goes on bills. So she will take it and she will distribute it into different accounts straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Not all at once, but she will do it here and there. And next time Clint comes into the diner, she will have 2 napkins out on the table or on the bar with 1 slice of bread on each one. And she will test something. And she will walk around the side of the bar. Say, "Do you want to go feed the ducks?" And she will hold out her hand.
And
This is half Moriarty, half Imogen.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to do. I'm
Okay.
doing. I'm sorry. I'm doing, and Clinton tries to go every 3 days we could feed the ducks, but then that wouldn't work. And he's trying to work out to fit into a schedule, and he falls back to lots of people feed ducks.
And
Nothing
that,
nothing
she-
out of the ordinary with that.
she
Going
will
back
take
instead his normal
hands.
schedule dominant, what did normal people do? And goes, yes, the 2 of us should go feed ducks. That's
Because change is good.
good. It's a nice change.
And she will make a point of taking his hand and starting to lead him out towards the pond.
And he at first is just kind of limp, and then he squeezes back, and they head to the pond. Just 2 faces in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think next session I'm going to start with Lee's actions and John's actions at the casino, but I think we'll leave it here for this week. No big cliffhanger this week. Next week is the penultimate episode. Why don't we?
I say this after this session every time. You know, normally people go, "Oh," but we're all like tense.
So, Chorus, I will tell you all about this system at some point. Call me up and I'll tell you all
It's
about it.
crazy.
So let's go around the table in reverse order this time. Why don't you guys tell us how you're feeling after that episode? where we can find you online, all the wonderful things you get up to, and perhaps your favorite moment, or maybe just feelings. Let's just talk about feelings. Let's have a feelsy session. We'll start with Tall School.
It's going to be so weird not to have Clinton on his schedule. That's so weird I mean, it was bound to break. I mean, you can't keep that going. I tried hard. I took so many notes. I've got pages and pages of schedule notes. I have my calculate duration between website up for this game, so I can always be between times, because Clinton knew it's going to be weird not to. I mean, that was just so Clinton. So it's going to be weird. Of now this, now it's about blending. His main dominant trait is being the face in the crowd and blending in, and schedule Clinton probably stood out to a lot of people. I mean, he's still, because he was on a schedule and he was kind of a drone, when everyone else, but certainly on a furlough day, he would have been very odd. And so this is kind of interesting to see how to sort of move him from face into the crowd to whatever. And I also think, I don't think there's as much as a complete dichotomy between the two. I think the Gremlin and Clinton are starting to blend together. Especially with the whole thing with Imogen and about the ghost in the machine directly affecting Imogen, and not just in a mischievous way. So that's Clinton actually having influence over the Gremlin, which I think is going to be interesting, because I think he's going to be kind of smooth. I think he's going to be, I kind of, his new personality could be very...
It's very, very interesting. It's one of the big things about this game is the changes that your character undergoes. And you are very close to Avatar at the moment. And one of the things I'll tell you about Avatar is your Avatar doesn't give a damn about Clinton's things.
Well, and I think that's going to be the trick, is if I can get attention to it before it cracks. I'm one away from each, because if I get my 3 attention, I can remove a crack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. I've got to get that nervous when confronted.
This sounds like you appealing to your teammates. I need to get that nervous when confronted, guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to. It needs to be something, but it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see whether one cracks before the other. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. But I'm feeling it's been interesting. It's been an interesting episode. I love the sort of Bonnie and Clyde.
I was going to say Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde. Clinton and Imogen. When you really get right down to it, we were talking about it in our internal chat. Oh, they're serial killers. You want to talk? Truly, 2 of them together. With our tags. For timing, and strategy, and planning, and yeah.
Zippy, same questions.
Hi. Yeah, no, I had like a really good time tonight. Really heavy stuff, but not too heavy. Cool shenanigans. We got to shed the light on a lot of other cool people, and I was really happy about that. I'm excited for next session. I really am. I am also extremely tired.
Sorry, I forgot Jay and both of you. How about where we can find you online, what you get up to, all that cool stuff?
You can find me at Tall Squall all around. I do lots of playing D&D, and then I DM my own over on my own channel on Saturdays at 2. For those of you who haven't watched The Vice before, we are at a sort of great point where we've entered a new city. We're 75 episodes in, but if you don't want to have to do a lot of catch up, this would be a great time to hop into our campaign. We are all at level 7 now, and gone from sort of the wilds into an urban setting, all new sort of NPCs and people that the party's discovering. So if you'd like to join us, that would be great. And we do run our channel 100% for charity. So if you would like to stop by and help out, we do a different charity every month. And we'd love to see you there. Let me know you found me over here on Scratch Channel. You might have found your way there before with some of the incredible raids that Scratch blesses us with on Saturdays.
You can find me on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo. We do a bunch of variety gaming. You can also catch me on other people's channels doing a bunch of tabletop RPGs. Wednesdays, I'm on Mordekainen's Path to the Many Planes over on the Greyhawk channel. And I just bounce around. I love playing tabletop RPGs. I'm a variety streamer, so I'm not tied down to any one game. I always like bouncing around. So yeah, come on over and say hi. I'm always willing to chill.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Alice, headmistress of the academy. And wife.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife.
Wife first. I loved that session. I feel like so much happened. I feel slightly stressed, but in a good way. I feel like there was actual adrenaline there this evening. One, I really like seeing the change in Lee, in the nervousness that's sort of come through, but at the same time, the determination that's there at the same time. I like how gutsy John's got. I think it's nice. It's like he's trying to do the right thing, obviously judgment, but it's quite gritty as well. And I think my favorite scene is where Moriarty and the Gremlin came out at the same time with the mugging, because it allowed for chaos, basically, which is what I like. And we haven't seen Moriarty really before this, the more brutal side of it. So it was really, really fun to play out. I'm White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. And I won't say anything else because Scratch just going to repeat everything anyway. So thank you.
Most certainly not least, but definitely last, Kiana.
That sums up my emotions. Just sounds of distress. No, that was a great episode because like we really got to getting to see the mythos was really cool. I've been super excited to be seeing that and how they interact with each other, because we've been seeing the mythos kind of pop up separately, and now all the egos are in the room together, and it's bad and great, and I'm really excited.
I can't wait for yours to just be like,
oh,
y'all.
Yeah. Hold on.
Need to slow your roll.
With the new developments, Monkeyton coming out, Pride's been hurt, and that's a huge transgression on what the Monkey King stands for. So that's going to be interesting.
I can't wait to see how that falls out.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know I'm gonna have to read more about the legend. I just know the very, very, very basics. I'm not gonna have to do some research.
Yeah,
It's cool.
It's gonna be interesting.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 episodes left. I mean, how many cracks can we get in one episode? It's unlikely to happen, right?
But no, that was a fantastic episode. I can't believe next week is the penultimate, and I'm terrified and excited to see what happens. But until then, you guys can find me over on Twitter at KianaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I am all over the internet playing all sorts of role-playing games pretty much every day of the week. But you guys can find me here on the channel doing one-shot wonders every Wednesday, D&D 5e series, where I run basically a new group every week. It's through a new setting every month. We're doing Dark Sun this month, which has been super fun. We have a really cool cast this upcoming Wednesday, and I'm very excited for it. So if you want some Dark Sun shenanigans, definitely check that out. And yeah, man, next week there's gonna be some clashes, I think.
Let's see him then.
Well, you guys, I am Scrackers. I am completely innocent of anything my players accuse me of. I run these games. I mainly just go along with what the players want to do. All the evil that happens is purely the window into people's minds, nothing to do with me. Here are my social links. If you want to be part of this wonderful community, join our Discord. For a start, we've got a wonderful, inclusive, family feel, loving Discord that will look after you, whether you're a D&D player or not, whether you want to talk about D&Ds or not, and other TTRPGs. It's a good place to be. We also have Twitter. If you guys would like to get into a game, then send me a DM on Twitter and I'll get you into a game. And lastly is YouTube, which I am catching up on. I have learnt some hot tips on how to better upload my YouTube videos, and I will be speeding them along. I'll also be catching up on the old stuff as well. So there'll be probably a period where I start releasing videos before the old ones, but I'll get round to the old ones too. I have a Patreon. If you guys would like to support me on Patreon, you can do so from as little as $1, and it will get you access to some of our background content as well, which we are constantly working on. And lastly, I have merchandise, including t-shirts, notebooks that you can make notes in, and all sorts of wonderful things. I'm currently in the process of organising the next season. I suppose really it's the season 1 of this channel, as we'll be going into full-time. We'll be doing full-time streaming. We're having Monday to Friday, 3 shows a day, except for Friday, when we'll have 2 shows a day. We're going to be playing 5e. We're going to be playing Mouse Guard. We're going to be playing Call of Cthulhu. We're going to be playing Lady Blackbird. We're going to be playing Monster Hearts. We're going to be playing Ryutama. We've got tons of games. We've got tons of new DMs. We've got tons of new people coming along. And it's going to be awesome. We'll also be upping it from... at the moment, I do roughly 2 random player games where anyone can come and play a week, and sometimes a third one if I can squeeze it in. We'll be upping that to 3 a week. 1 by me, 1 by Kiana, and 1 by Alice. So that'll be potentially up to 12 new players a week that can come and play, which is obviously the focus of this channel, getting more of you guys here. There. Anyway, that's it from me, you guys. Let's go and see who is online right now. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping that would be... Never mind. Let's go have a look. Okay, cool. So we've got the Greyhawk channel and Off the Table live right now. I'm actually going to go into Off the Table. Off the Table is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated channels on Twitch at the minute. They tell amazing stories. They are always gushing with emotion over there, and they are absolutely fantastic. Summer, Katie, Dingo, Kiana sometimes on there. They're all amazing, so we're going to head over there. When we get in there, I'd love to see you guys bring the hype with you. If you have access to the Scrat Hype emote, then spam it. If you don't have access to the Scrat Hype emote, then maybe we could do something like, I don't know, Scrat Hype Raid. There, just copy and paste that. That'll do fine. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Look forward to seeing you over in Off the Tables chat. And keep evoking emotions. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.